When Jeff Bezos told the Amazon Alexa team that he wanted responses in under 5 seconds, it forced a design revolution. And today's guest, Chai Atreya, Chief Product Officer over at ActiveCampaign, took those lessons into building AI superpowers for small and medium-sized businesses.
Companies are really moving fast. We at ActiveCampaign serve the small to medium businesses, the owners who are really busy in their day-to-day life. They just want to get things done. They want to get to the outcome and the results. I was introduced to this 2-paragraph email from Jeff Bezos, which basically said, we're going to build a $70 bill of material device sitting on the kitchen sill, connected to the cloud, acting as a virtual assistant. That's all we had. And there was like 50 different designs. And that's where we started. From ActiveCampaign, we are not sprinkling AI into old processes. We are reimagining the experience altogether. We call it active intelligence, where all our AI agents come together. Our customers really can leapfrog. They don't just keep pace with competitors, they can outrun them.
First, the design lessons that Chai learned building Amazon Alexa with Jeff Bezos, then how those same principles actually shaped ActiveCampaign's layered AI experience, and then finally, the exact questions every CEO must ask before trusting any AI platform. If you're ready to see how billion-dollar design lessons can scale your business without a billion-dollar budget, let's dive in.
Day one, I was introduced to this 2-paragraph email from Jeff Bezos, which basically said, we're going to build a $70 bill of material device sitting on the kitchen sill, connected to the cloud, acting as a virtual assistant. That's all we had. And I still remember what the device could look like. There was nothing fixed at that point. There was like 50 different designs. It was a very highly secretive initiative, for one. There was no, this is all about speech recognition and natural language understanding. And this is happening in a natural setting. The device could be next to a TV. It could be next to a microwave, and it is voice recognition from at a distance, right? This is not a phone which is next to your mouth. When we were reviewing with Jeff Bezos at one point, there was a call out that the latency is really high, and it was understandable. Yes. This was an internal.
In other words, Jeff said, it's taking too long. I want my weather report instantly. And how long has it taken?
I think he said something along the lines of, I want the response from the wake word to be maybe under 5 seconds or 4 seconds, whatever it was at that point of the journey. This was well before launch, by the way, and things got much faster. And we had to come back, and every team, every service owner got a budget out of that, right? We have to meet within milliseconds of that budget. And then that meant really reimagining how do we build towards that end goal, right? And some of that led to decisions like building very strong caching layers, for example, to hit that kind of challenge, right? Otherwise, there's no way we could go from 15 seconds to 5 seconds or 3 seconds, for example. And it's just one of many examples, right? This is the whole service-oriented architecture mindset that Amazon really made popular. So that was a decision where we had to really question how we have built the whole product and every decision, and apply the invent and simplify rule, think from a customer experience perspective.
Well, it's so overwhelming. I mean, you go in, you need to think about your end customer, and these CEOs, they may not have a marketing team, right? They're leaning on the technology. What does a day in the life of a CEO of a small company look like in the future, leveraging this tool? And they want to reach, say they've got a list of thousands of people, they want to effectively leverage it. How is it going to be in the future working with you guys and using AI tools?
Yeah, totally. From ActiveCampaign, we are not sprinkling AI into old processes. We are reimagining the experience altogether. That's why we created one powerful workspace. We call it Active Intelligence, where all our AI agents come together, working towards one cohesive experience. The exciting part is our customers really can leapfrog using this. They don't just keep pace with competitors, they can outrun them. A day in the marketer's life with small to medium businesses, there's so much content personalization that has to happen. There is so much brand understanding, right? The timing aspect, multi-channel, which channels do you want to cater to at what point in a customer life cycle? Thinking about all this for a small to medium business user, while they also have their day-to-day to take care of, they don't have typical like marketing budgets, for example, that they can go after. They don't have a marketing team, right?
Yeah,
like
they are the marketing team, or they've got one person. And you got to be able to monetize a list of thousands of people, reach them, keep connected with them.
And that's where I want to talk about how we are approaching is what we call layered UX paradigm, layered user experience paradigm. We're thinking about it from 3 levels. One is our very front and center conversational active intelligence experience where you come, you have a conversational feed and agents working, waiting to respond to your questions. Then at the middle level, what we have what we call in context user experience. A user could be in any part of the product, right? Like you could be on a segmentation page, contacts page. How does AI meet you where you are in the product, right? You don't have to always be in a conversational world, right? Where you are, understanding the context that you're in, and then being able to operate and provide that next best action related to that. That is the middle layer of the user experience. And at the bottom is very delightful but minute things that really unlocks value for a technical, sophisticated user at every step. When you bring all of these together in a cohesive, seamless manner, that's what unlocks magic. And that's how we think about it.
What are the questions that CEOs need to be asking about what their AI is built on to know if it's going to be good or problematic?
Yeah, that's a good question. One, as I just mentioned, is it built on a foundational set of building blocks that I can understand? If I wanted to, as a user, go deeper to see what AI is doing, we at ActiveCampaign fundamentally think we should be very, very design first. That's just the world we live in, right? Like AI is evolving so rapidly. Nobody fully knows what this new fluid user experience is going to look like, right? So you have to be at the forefront of that. And that essentially means that like I literally, with our founder and CEO, we review designs once a week, sometimes twice a week with marketing, right? And at the founder CEO level, we're leaning in and looking at every intricate part of design. I like to say every pixel matters. And when you look at it from that incremental compounding effect is when you see that ultimate results unlocked down the line. The Amazon way of doing things is really next level and amazing. It really teaches you a lot. And I am a big fan of some of the 14 leadership principles. I have internalized and made it my own, both professionally and personally over the years. And I also think like while many companies have values and missions and leadership principles, Amazon is one place where I really saw how it could empower conversations and decision making at all levels, not for leaders alone, but even a new grad coming into the company. It could unlock their potential in unique ways. And I still remember some meetings where a fresh grad could, from like, let's say, bias for action or working backwards or disagree and commit, things like those kind of like leadership principles, how they could bring their best ideas forward and then challenge the leaders in a healthy way and then have that debate towards an outcome or goal is amazing to see in action, right? Like, and when you see that and when it is really infiltrated into the day-to-day decision-making of individuals, that's where leadership principles make a lot of sense.
Which one of those principles did you think was most useful in the creation of Alexa, and how would we see it emerge in the Alexa as terms of how it functions or So I'm just thinking about like the moment where that happened and how it emerged in the technology down the road for how it turned out.
Yeah. I think a few things are invent and simplify, because it was such a groundbreaking new innovation product that there were so many questions. Like I can tell you, on day one, we were trying to build Alexa as a potential phone device. You could connect your phone through Bluetooth to Alexa and then talk through that so you didn't have to use phone. And we built that, and then that did not end up becoming one of the early voice domains, as we called it. The initial voice domains were weather, music, general knowledge, these kind of like very often used things. The way you can shift and quickly pivot towards the real value when you operate from a invent and simplify approach, and showing that bias for action and thinking big, those are some of the things that I think really unlocked. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, everything ties to a couple of things: customer obsession and insisting on the highest standards, right? Like,
what's your parting thought for our leaders today? Send us out.
The future is amazing and bright, and this is the time to be building on a very rapid pace, right? Like the status quo is not going to cut it anymore, right? We have to think in multiple horizons at this point and then build towards that. So that's what's keeping us excited as builders, as product leaders, and yeah, it's a new world that we are entering. So can't be more excited to be defining some of that.
All right, Chai. We'll talk to you soon, my friend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Ben.